A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, joined by the Packers' all-time leading scorer, Mr. Mason Crosby. Good afternoon, Mason.
Good afternoon, man. We need some acronyms for our show title,
dude. I'm wondering if anyone thinks
segment over, just reading off like the intro to.
Is everyone like, is
show.
This Mitch Nellis just talking? Because it's just me on the show all the time now.
Seriously, yeah, like Mitch enjoying that morning show. Is Mitch going to be there tomorrow?
He will. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, Mason Crosby Show on the road tomorrow, the Brookfield Verizon
road
store. On Blue Mound. If you want to go see Mason Crosby, Mitch Nellis, Clay Matthews going to be there as well, with talent subject to change. It says it in the promo.
You have to have it. You have to have it.
So I don't think that there's
Molly
anything...
Crosby will be there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I said
come out and say hang out with Molly.
That'll be probably way more of a draw than you think it would be. So
I definitely think that's the draw for sure.
So that'll be awesome. Mason Crosby, I'll be here hanging out, of course. Mitch Nellis will join the show at 1:20 today, as we will make our weekly picks. Got some great picks this week. There's some interesting lines, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, that I think we'll have to talk about in that segment. Kyle Malzhan of WFRV in Green Bay going to join us in about 20 minutes or so here. Talk a little Brewers, talk a little Packers. There's some trade rumors going around in Green Bay, but we'll start things off with NLCS Game 3, Milwaukee Brewers, Los Angeles Dodgers. Today, I am scared, Mason. I'll just say that. I'm scared.
I know you are.
I'm officially scared.
How did it go yesterday? We talked before the show, but I was playing golf out here at Black Wolf Run. Thank you, Kohler, for setting me up and getting all this going. But what was like? How did you feel? How was your reaction? Did cooler heads prevail, or did you get after it yesterday?
No, I'm going to say
on that game too.
Morale was pretty killed in the office. It felt like
it was low
around everywhere else. This is the thing, that the MLB has a different playoff structure. This is how I knew morale was down. Every other topic other than talking about the game was surrounding the Milwaukee Brewers. It was payroll discussions. It was playoff formatting. It was everything else that you could yell about and complain about was where the conversations were at yesterday on this station.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I know.
I mean, they played the game. Like, the Brewers swept the Dodgers in the regular season. Like, the Brewers can play with this team. It doesn't matter what the cause. It doesn't matter what you're paying the players. But you're not seeing the biggest players step up in the biggest moments. And, I mean, that's the story that's written in all professional sports. If your stud players don't step up in the biggest moments in the biggest games, you will lose those games. It happened to us in Green Bay at times, like that. Like, you just have to have your best players step up, and I hate it because these are the like guys that got to this point, right? Like, it's Yelich, it's Terang, it's Contreras, like it's guys that have, like, without them, the Brewers would not be in this position.
Absolutely,
but they have not done what it takes to just get to the bullpen. Get to the bullpen for this Dodgers team, and those two games are completely different.
Yeah,
you saw what happened in game one. Finally got a bullpen pitcher in the 9th inning and get the bases loaded and, like, have a chance to win that game. So you have to get this Dodgers team to the bullpen. Just get watch pitches. Maybe get struck out looking, but make them pitch to you and go and find your hit, be patient, do the things that you need to do, get on base, make this team work for it a little bit more.
Nicolay Law Fan talking text line 414-677-1250 if you want to be a part of the show. I wanted to ask Mason Crosby this question. You can weigh into how big is a crowd factor in when you are on the road? I would assume that most of the time, I believe at the professional level, it doesn't play as big of a role as it does at the collegiate level. But there are some instances. I used to say, like, New Orleans had the best home field advantage for maybe 20 years, it felt like, in this. Like, after Katrina, like, that crowd just always was fired up for their boys.
Loud.
Stadium is loud.
I mean, it is, it
you
is,
know what?
that
Seattle,
roof is right on top of you.
Seattle always had, they want to be the 12th man or whatever, but the Dodgers have the highest capacity in baseball. I'm sure there's going to be 60,000 fans in attendance there for game 3 today. Tyler Glasnow versus to be determined still for Milwaukee, who's going to be the first guy out for them. But how big does a crowd play in a professional game, a playoff game, even at that too, where they can really take over and manage some of the game?
Honestly, okay, so other than playing in my softball game in Beloit this summer, it's I haven't played a lot of professional, baseball. So I don't know how that interaction is. I would assume around the dugouts and things like that, if they have fans, hecklers, honestly, sometimes those, when you can hear a specific person speaking, is a lot harder to deal with than the mass crowd.
Yeah.
So like Seattle for me, never really an issue. Like it was just noise. It was big noise the whole time, all the moments. And you could block that out fairly easy. It's only honestly some of the more intimate stadiums, the stadiums where maybe the fans, their team is relatively bad, I guess, sometimes. And it's like they want to make a point to berate you on the sideline, heckle you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like it was places like I remember Kansas, the Jayhawks in college.
Really?
Still one of my all-time favorite games to play in. We actually got excited because we were excited to hear what their student section. They'd sit the student section right behind our bench, and they'd like have bios on the offensive line. So when they'd go and sit, they're like talking about their family. And
my gosh.
They had like a blown up picture of one of the offensive linemen from like 4th grade. And he was just this big chubby kid. They're like, man, not much has changed. You big,
Yeah.
So I love, like, honestly, some of that stuff. But those things are harder to ignore than just the big noise. So a big stadium, like a big capacity like the Dodgers, unless there's just like specific people that are good at heckling right there behind your dugout, you're going to be able to block the noise. It's just going to be loud. It's going to be, probably a little chaotic to start, but you lock in and you have to be able to, overcome that and block out all that excess and just be in that moment. I just feel like some of the, top players on this team just haven't been in that moment, especially there at home. You would think at home it'd be different, but maybe this is a galvanizing, force for a team like this Brewers team. They're going to go on the road, hostile environment against a really good Dodgers team, and this could be what they need to go and just kind of collectively say, hey, we're going to be patient. We're going to find our pitches. We're going to get better on offense, and then we're going to just keep doing what we do on defense. But we're going to find a way to nickel and dime this thing and go out there and get a win in LA.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We'll get some Packers talk on here as well too, but the Brewers getting geared up to play against the Dodgers in game 3 of the NLCS. Tyler Glasnow, a very different pitcher than the other two guys that we saw for Los Angeles. Glasnow, very reliant on his fastball, which is a lot better than both Yamamoto's and Blake Snell's. But maybe that's something that also could benefit Milwaukee in this game. Just a change of a pace at the pitching position, because they obviously could not hang with Yamamoto's breaking stuff or with Snell's breaking stuff in the first 2 games of this. But Mason, they can't go another 7 innings from a starting pitcher. You can't get another 8 innings from a starting pitcher. They got to get this guy out within the first 5 innings of the game to have any chance, it feels like.
Yeah, I would love to see one of those first couple inning shellings where, they're just they pull a great pitcher like Glasnow, right? Which they will in the playoffs. Like they'll pull him out, but like that's what this Brewers team needs to do. And I do think a guy relying more on fastball, with the woes that this offense has had against these first two pitchers with all that breaking ball stuff. I mean, Yelich swinging at stuff down by his
before
shin,
it hits
by
the
his
plate.
ankle.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
yes.
So maybe a fastball pitcher is something that this Brewers team needs, where they can just kind of load up and see if they can't find, bat on ball a little bit. But yeah, we had a few things in the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. This is an interesting one. I don't know if I totally agree with it, but 414 said, so how are the Dodgers winning without their 3 MVPs not doing anything? What do you think of that?
I mean, yeah, Shohei Ohtani's drawing, like he's literally getting intentionally walked every time.
I think
now
that's
the
doing
Brewers,
something.
Yeah, he's
just
getting on
a
base.
man on base. Yeah.
Mookie Betts hasn't won MVP in a while and hasn't really torched the Brewers. Freddie Freeman, who won an MVP, hit the highest home run of all time.
Basically won game one.
Literally won game one for them. And Blake Snell has won 2 Cy Youngs in both leagues on top of it as well, where he did his part and absolutely hammered the Brewers in that game was the reason why. Yamamoto's going to finish top 5 in the Cy Young voting, probably top 3 in the NL Cy Young voting this year. The payroll, the thing about the Dodgers is, do they have 3 MVPs on their team? Yeah. Do they probably have 9 All-Stars, though? Yeah, that's also the same case. Like, it's not just one guy. The Brewers, if you put Christian Yelich, if Christian Yelich is the best player on this team, let's just say Chourio even. Let's say Jackson Chourio
is probably the best player right now on this team.
Is he the 4th best player on the Dodgers? Is he the 5th best player on the Dodgers? Like, and that's not something that I think is a fair argument either, because this Brewers team was the best team in the National League in all of baseball all season. Their whole mantra has been like, you don't know our players, but you're going to know our team after you're done with them. They play the best as a team, and the Brewer way of winning ball games has not even been how they won ball games in the postseason, Mason. Other than game 1 of the NLDS, they've had to hit homers. They have not manufactured.
It's been a different postseason from
played,
what the regular season was.
They played great defense in this series, in the first game where they have the Sal Frelick crazy double play, and the pitching has done their part in most of this series too. But they have 5 hits. They have 5 hits over the 2 games right now. They're not going to win. They're batting .086 as a team in the first 2 games. The Dodgers had 11 last game. So right now, I don't think that it's a surprise that the Dodgers are playing better than Milwaukee and winning these ball games, because quite frankly, they're just showing that they're better right now.
Yeah, and I mean, again, yes, payroll disparity. Obviously, they're willing to pay players, and that's why they have so many good players. And that is, that's a potential issue. And I know that's everyone's saying, if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, there could be some complications with the future of baseball, right? Like of them trying to get salary caps or change like how everything's structured. But I also will say, like, yes, the Dodgers had some moments during the regular season, and they were all still getting paid a lot of money during the regular season. But these guys have stepped up. And honestly, if I look at this Brewers team versus Dodgers team, like which team at the moment, like in the like Brewers home stadium, the Dodgers did look like a team. It wasn't just a bunch of individuals out there. I mean, they have set celebrations every hit they get. Like they are a team, so they might be the highest paid players in the league and the highest payroll. But I like, it worries me that they don't just seem like selfish, me first individuals, and that's what makes them even more scary than just the money aspect. Because you can get paid a ton of money, but if you don't step up in these games, it doesn't matter, right? So they get paid a lot, and they're finding a way to tap in to that to that eliteness in the biggest moments, and that's a different thing, right? That's not just grind through the regular season. That is a unique ability to tap into that eliteness right when you need it.
Well, and the team approach that the Dodgers can take is all through the offense. They've used 4 pitchers in the series. They used 1 pitcher in game 2. They used 1 pitcher through 8 innings in game 1, right? I mean, the Roki Sasaki and Blake Trinan coming in really didn't mean anything at the end. In hindsight, it's 1 out he had to get. Obviously, he could have blew the game if there was the hit by pitch from Terang in there, but this is a team that doesn't even have to go deep into their bag on team either. The Brewers, when they go out and have these pitching performances, it's because they have 4, 5, 6 guys coming out to shove and play collectively as a unit in that pitching performance. The Dodgers haven't been tested on that at all right now, and Tyler Glasnow is going to be on the bump for Milwaukee, a guy who was really nasty at the end of the year as well. It does not get any easier, but it seems like the bats right now, it's just, do you keep Churio at the leadoff spot because you got to hope someone gets on base so he can hit a home run or make a big hit at this point? Because he's the only guy I trust with a bat in his hands right now for this Brewers team.
I agree. And it's, yeah, it's weird, but it's like any other sport, right? Like you're talking about this Dodgers team and like what they're doing. Like the Brewers did not move the Dodgers towards their weakness, and their weakness is their bullpen, right? Mm-hmm. If they have one, that is their weakness. They just don't have the depth. They have some amazing starting pitchers. They have those Cy Young Award candidates, but you get them to their bullpen, and that's where you can take advantage of them. And that's postseason ball in all sports. You have to get a team to play in their weakest spot. You have to enforce that, put your will on them and force them into those weak moments. And this Brewers team just hasn't done that. And it's just as simple as, again, I like I said, I'd rather see some of these guys strike out looking at some of these pitches than just like chasing stuff all over the place. I mean, the Dodgers pitchers were just getting them to go after things that they really shouldn't have. And it was just kind of wild. So I think I am always optimistic. I'm always, I try to have a positive mindset. I think the Brewers with Pat Murphy, with how this team has battled throughout the season, what they did to beat the Cubs, in the last series, they will come out and go to LA, and they're going to get one, maybe two. Like they got to get two, right?
They got to get two to keep it alive.
But I think they need to win tonight. They have to go out there and steal this one from them tonight.
Yeah,
and don't let it come down to the last two games there where you have to win both.
Tyler Glasnow versus the Brewers this year has 11 innings of work dating back July 9th and July 18th are his only two outings against Milwaukee this year. 11 innings of work. He went 5 in the first game. That was his game back from injury in that early part of July. 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 run in the contest, had 5 strikeouts. In game 2, it was 6 innings of work, just 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. However, the Brewers did win both of those games. So from a combined score of 5-2 over those 2 games, it was 3-2 in the first game and 2-0 in the second game. So
get him off the mound and in inning 5. And I think this is the Brewers game to win. Like if you can get him to only go 5, that would be a win compared to the first 2 games, right? Right there, you're going to have optimism that, okay, now we're into their bullpen. They're going to have to put some guys out there to work. Let's see what we can do. Keep this thing tight through those first 4 to 6 innings. And then just try to get a win there late in the bottom of that game.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Mark your calendars for tomorrow, Friday, October 17th, because the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis will be broadcasting live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network from noon to 2 at the Verizon store on West Blue Mountain Road in Brookfield. Plus, Packers legend Clay Matthews will be stopping by before his meet and greet begins at 2:00. Verizon is hooking you up with an amazing afternoon. Plus, they'll have some awesome giveaways just for stopping by and saying hello. It all happens tomorrow at the Verizon store in Brookfield on West Blue Mountain Road. Come see the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis and say hi to Clay Matthews. Packers legend. I mean, like they didn't start that with the Mason Crosby Packers legend.
Hey, just a couple legends out there.
A couple legends. Legends and Clay Matthews going to be there tomorrow.
Clay. Thanks for coming out, Clay.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. We're going to talk to Kyle Malzhan, WFRV in Green Bay. Coming up next on the other side, it is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis. We are presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Packers all-time leading scorer Mason Crosby here as well. And joining us now from WFRV in Green Bay on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, Kyle Malzhan. You can follow him on Twitter at Kyle Malzhan, but make sure you put the H in front of the A because everyone that up for sure. Kyle, good afternoon. How are we doing today, my man?
Good, man. Appreciate you guys having me on, talking a little football, talking a little Packers, brisk fall day. And this is when we're starting to get into football season and football weather in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's definitely time to right now. I know you do a little bit of work covering the Brewers right now. We just opened up with that too. How you feeling about tonight specifically?
Yeah, I mean, this team, look, they've fought all season long. If there was a team in Major League Baseball that could come out of this 0-2 deficit on the road, you'd think it would be the Milwaukee Brewers. For a team that, I thought the pitching, having to face Ohtani, Betts, Freeman would be a daunting task. Suddenly, this offense has gone silent. So the bats need to wake up big time. And where's Christian Yelich been, man? I mean, this is the Brewers superstar. He's a former MVP. This is why they brought him in to perform at his best when his best is needed. And he has just been silent since really 2018. The last NLCS appearance. So they need their superstar to come through at some point, and no better big time to do it now. But things aren't looking too good for the Brewers. I mean, look, the fact that this pesky offense wasn't able to go and chase these starters for the Dodgers out of the game worries me a little bit, because now you have Glass, now you have Ohtani looming, and a really well-rested bullpen for the Dodgers playing in LA. It's a big task for this 2025 Brewers team, but these as Pat Murphy calls them, the woodpeckers, they always prevail. They've given you no reason to. So until they do, you have to have a little hope and faith.
I like that, Kyle. I like, it's hope is not a strategy, but it is something that we can hold on to, right? And so
Yeah.
I think until this Brewers team proves us otherwise, that they can't, recover and come back. I mean, they lost 2 to the Cubs in Wrigley, and then we're able to come back and get the win. So until this thing is over, let's just, let's support this team. Let's push them across that finish line. Let's have a little hope that they can get this thing going. They might disappoint us, but until that 4th game is over, until that 4th loss happens, I think we need to have just a little faith that they can get this thing done, because they did not disappoint all season long. So really appreciate that insight, Kyle. Let's move over to the Packers. They're heading to Arizona, which is the dream. Love going play in Arizona. I always wish it was in November, late November, some December time frame, but this will do right now. So what are you hearing? What's kind of the word this week? I feel like with the Brewers playing this NLCS, we've talked a little less about the Packers this week. So just fill us in on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a team in a game that Green Bay should win against and handle their business, but the Cardinals are no easy team to sleep on. If you look at their record, sure, they're 2-4 on a 4-game losing streak, but every single one of their games has been decided by one possession. They haven't lost more than 7 points, so you can't underestimate them. Now, the Packers in the NFL, I mean, Mason, you know this, sometimes it's not when you play it, or it's not who you play, it's about when you play them. And it looks right now like Kyler Murray's banged up, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a little banged up, so the Packers could be playing the Arizona Cardinals at the right time. Nonetheless, if they're in, the Packers should win this game. And look, this team right now, I walked out of Lambeau Field on Sunday against the Bengals. At the end of each game, whether that's a loss, win, or tie, I just want to find something new about this team. As somebody who covers them and somebody who's around them, I felt like I didn't learn anything else out about this 2025 Green Bay Packers team. Sure, they won. Great. You don't have to apologize for winning in the NFL. but it was just kind of an uninspiring win. Like, we've seen this script before, right? Like, the offense does their job. The defense looks spectacular in the first half of games. And then the second half, the defense kind of gets gassed and they let up. And, the offense finds a way to figure it out and deliver the knockout punch. But there needs to be a knockout punch earlier in these games. There was a drive in the first half, right before halftime, where the Packers, I think they, in consecutive plays, went like 30 or 40 yards, looked like they could finish the drive, and then they just stall out. So instead of going into the locker room up 17-0, you're at 10-0, and the Bengals are within striking distance, and later they'd make a game. I just think for this Green Bay Packers team, they're a really good football team. They're really, really good on paper. They've shown signs the first two games that they can be really good. But the one thing that's going to hold them back this year is just themselves. I think they're their own worst enemy in some of these situations, and can be their own worst enemy in some of these games. The penalties has to clean up. The defense has to finish their job. Special teams has to do their job. And Jordan Love just has to play his game. I think this is a really good football team. I think they should win on Sunday. I don't know by how many points, but on paper, they should handle the Arizona Cardinals. And maybe this could be the game that we kind of see this team play 4 quarters, complimentary football all across the board. And I think that's what fans and people around this team are hoping to see on Sunday.
Awesome. We got Kyle Malzhan with an H in there. Just don't forget that. WFRV TV there in Green Bay, joining the Mason Crosby show. And we're talking Packers. We're talking Brewers. There's been some weird games out there in Arizona, though, right? Yeah. I mean, I think the last one I played out there was when Rasul Douglas had to, knock the ball down or intercept it in the end zone after we took the lead. Game. What a great game. I mean, wild ones where, the Aaron Rodgers, Hail Marys, and then the Cardinals end up finding a way to, score there on that last drive.
That was a face mask too, also in that game too. Don't forget the face mask.
Yeah, bad call. So we got to watch out for the refs down there. Those refs are just down there on vacation, enjoying some, couple rounds of golf, and they don't do their job. So, yeah, just talk to it, because we're going to make our picks later. So I'm going to actually, go there, because I've been pretty bad the last couple of weeks with my picks. So you said that the Arizona Cardinals have played close games. Do you think that 6.5 number that the Packers are being spotted there, do you think that's enough? Or is this thing going to be a little tighter than that? I mean, do you think they can win by more than a touchdown?
Yeah, thankfully for Arizona in this time of the weather, there might be some Wisconsinites at their Arizona homes getting away from winter. So that Green Bay Packers fans, one way or another, are going to show up. So, you have some sense of home field advantage when you hear those "Go Pack, Go" chants. But I think this is the game, right? I think this is the game. I think the Packers offense is going to figure it out. I think the Packers defense is going to figure it out. Special teams just be serviceable. And I think this is going to be the game we see it all come together. I think, look, if I was watching the game on Sunday, there was one plan and one objective with this offense, and it was get Josh Jacobs the ball one way or another. Like, that's the identity right now of this football team. The passing game outside of that looked a little clunky, but the one thing I loved is we saw Matthew Golden come through in big situations. And that started back in Dallas in overtime on 4th down. Who did Jordan Love go to? He went to his rookie wide receiver when they needed to have it. Late in the game, third down. I think it was like 3rd and 8, late in the game, 1-possession game. And who does he go to? He goes to Matthew Golden for a big score. So if this chemistry is trending the way it is, and one thing I've loved and respected about Matt LaFleur introducing Matthew Golden into the NFL, that they're not forcing him the ball. Because if Jordan Love came out, 1st-round draft pick, all the pressure in the world, and he was forcing, Matthew Golden the ball early in the season, some drops happen, and the confidence starts to wear. But now we're to a point where he showed he can do it. So I think if they introduce him more and more, maybe this is the week that he gets in the end zone for the first time. But I also don't think it's a coincidence that in all 3 Packers wins, Tucker Kraft has found the end zone. Tucker Kraft has to be a big part of this offense going forward. And that was something Matt LaFleur at the end of last year even told us, that if there was probably one regret, he regretted getting away from his top tight end. And there was times I think in Dallas and against the Browns that they got away from Tucker Kraft after a career game versus the Commanders. So if Matthew Golden comes through and Tucker Kraft is who he is, and Jordan Love just plays clean football to an extent where it's not going to hurt the Packers, they should have no problem winning.
This was a game last year too, Kyle, that the Packers really impressed. It was in Lambeau last year. Jordan Love had 4 touchdowns in the game, and they were also able to neutralize any running from Kyler Murray. That was a big topic too.
Right.
And they've done a fantastic job on the defensive side, on the run game. They're the number 1 rush defense in the NFL right now. I want to go back to one of your points, though, about how you're always saying you're trying to learn something about this team every time you leave the stadium. What are some things that you're still a little uncertain about on the Packers offense, defense, wherever you want to go with it, that lead you to believe that I need answers to some of these questions, Kyle?
I think one of them is just like the passing game. And maybe it's a byproduct of who the Green Bay Packers are at this point. And we've seen the script of they're not going to have a number 1 wide receiver. And that's great. And that's fine and all. But who's going to be the guy? I don't know if we know that answer. And I don't necessarily know if we need to have that answer. But it's clear that in the red zone, they're probably more times than not going to target Romeo Doubs on like a slant if they're within the 10. It's just death taxes Romeo Doubs finding the ball in the end zone. On the defensive side, like who's going to come through with who's going to generate turnovers?
Got to get some turnovers. Yep.
Yeah, they got to get some turnovers. And if Kyler Murray's not going, Jacoby Brissett's the backup, and he likes to throw the ball. I think he had over 300 yards last week for the Arizona Cardinals. So maybe this is the game too. I think it comes down to like, is this team going to play clean football, play their brand of football? Who's like figure out the passing game a little bit. It's just been a little confusing for me, and maybe Matt LaFleur is trying to find his footing in this offense with some of his wide receivers, and then just takeaways on defense, man. That's I think the 3 areas where they just got to figure it out, and then special teams. But I don't want to go on at length at that. I mean, it's tough, but yeah.
Yeah, what have you heard from that side of things? I haven't checked in yet. I usually do that on Fridays, just like that final report. Is McManus going to go this week, or is he back practicing, or is Haversick going to get another go at it on the weekend?
Well, when Matt LaFleur talked today, he said that this was already going to be McManus's regularly scheduled day not to kick. So I don't know if we'll know anything further than this. There's a possibility that he does kick on Sunday, but it looks like Lucas Haversick is going to stick around. And I was talking to Harry Sidney about this on our locker room show, who was, a 3-time Super Bowl champ, coach in Green Bay, special teamer when he played in his playing days. And all you want is an opportunity, right? And for Lucas Haversick to at one point think about substitute teaching, to go to the mecca of the NFL, which is Lambeau Field, and just do his job. All you want's an opportunity, and he passed that test. And the one part of Green Bay special teams that they think they figured out was Brandon McManus. No more kicking issues. He's not going. But if Lucas Haversick can just come in and ride the ship until McManus is fully healthy from his quad injury, I think they're okay.
Yeah. I think too with going down to Arizona, I remember there were so many years where whenever we were going on the road and you were going into a controlled environment, it was just like heck yeah, like Aaron Rodgers is going to get the job done. Like watch out for our offense. I think that's where Jordan Love is progressing to, but I think he needs to take that step, continue to take those steps where it's like, yeah, we're going on the road. But if we're not playing outside in tough conditions, this needs to be a game that we go out and dominate. And so what you were saying as well, like I think with what LaFleur said about we don't have a number 1, like we're going to spread it out. We're going to just, everyone's going to get touches. But I think you got to have that 1A, 1B, 1C then. And it is. I think it starts with Josh Jacobs. My 1B would be Tucker Kraft. I think this offense runs through Jacobs and Kraft. Just physicality, what they bring to the table. And then I do think Matthew Golden is stepping into that space. I love his adjustment on the route whenever Jordan's rolling to his left. He cuts under the defender, where I think some of the other receivers on this team would have just kind of kept running their route, right? So he has that knack. And I think the confidence, like you were talking about, has been growing. I finally saw him in that Bengals game make a hard cut, get downfield, get what he can. I think early on he was frustrated with himself because as a rookie, you have to learn. You're not going to do what you did to some of these college players once you get to the NFL. Like, you got to just stick your foot in the ground, get downhill, make one cut, get what you can. And if it opens up, that's great, but don't try to do too much. Right. So I think that's a great point. So what do you think? Do you think this Packers team can beat this Cardinals team on the road? The Cardinals have no run game. So like they will have to pass it, and we need to get that pressure turning into like make turnovers happen off that pressure. But do you think they can beat them by more than one touchdown or by a touchdown or more?
Right. I think if there was any game, it would be this game. Just, if Jacoby Brissett's starting, they're going to pass the ball. Look, Keyshawn Nixon's been a serviceable cornerback one. Other than that time that he just gave up in on that play in overtime in Dallas. But look, I like what I've seen from these Green Bay corners. Nate Hobbs has to prove it a little bit more, but I think this is a game where everybody hits on all cylinders. I think they do their job. I think Jordan Love is at a point of his career where you're starting to see all the elements come through, right? Like last year, it's hard to kind of analyze him to an extent because of his injury, but now we're seeing him take off. And I think that was a big emphasis. And he even told us it was a big emphasis of his game to start taking off, scramble when the pocket collapses, find a way to get some yards. I think I love the way that Love is progressing. His biggest thing is just playing clean football, and if he can do that, this Packers defense is set up in a way to succeed, to dominate, to put the offense in good situations. The offense has to do their job, and if they do that, they should be walking out of Arizona 4-1-1. Which, by the way, Mason, did you ever tie? Was there ever a tie? Okay,
Yep.
I hate just I hate not only hate ties, but just saying 3-1 and 1. Like the and is just annoying for me.
Yeah, it just gets it's too much. Like this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Wait, what is 411? Isn't that a number you're supposed to call or something?
Information.
Yeah, there you go. Right. 811 if you want to dig too. So if we get to that point, I guess.
Exactly. I hope we get to 811.
Yeah,
that
would be pretty good. Yeah. Kyle Malzhan, WFRV in Green Bay. Thank you so much. Does this series get back to Milwaukee, Kyle?
Oh man. If the bats wake up.
Okay.
The bats wake up. And
I will say, if you want.
Real quick, I was at American Family Field the first few games. Like, the fans just wanted a reason to cheer and to get on the Brewers' side. They just really, outside of the Churia homer, they didn't, and Sal Frelick's crazy, whatever double play it was, like, they just want a chance to cheer. So if the Brewers can get this back to Milwaukee, man, the Brewers have that home crowd on their side. They just 4 wins from a World Series berth. Got to get there first. Just give themselves a chance. Just win.
Yeah.
Win. And then get back to Milwaukee.
And then win again. Yeah.
And then win. Yeah.
Kyle, thank you so much for jumping on today, my man. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter at Kyle Malzhan, H before the A in Zahn, WFRV TV. Have a good rest of your day, Kyle.
Appreciate you guys. Take care. All right.
Yep. Thank you. There he is, Kyle Malzhan, WFRV TV in Green Bay, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. We had this kind of on the docket for a topic today. We'll talk about it more at the top of the hour, but I think Kyle set it up pretty well for us, Mason. If you could get one Packer involved in the offense more this week specifically, who do you want it to be? Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. That is the number to join the show at 1 o'clock. We will discuss that. On the other side, we'll wrap up some of our Brewers talk before we get into all football, all in the 1 o'clock hour. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Feels like a Despicable Me movie. You like that?
God. I'm gonna roast John Kuhn for that. I'm gonna roast him. This is in his bumps. Be like, you
This
got
is his bump?
Despicable Me.
That's what it
music
is.
in there.
Come on, Gru.
It is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Kyle Malzhan for popping on the other side. Talking Packers most of the time, a little bit of Brewers, just a hint to Brewers. If you did not hear, Aaron Ashby announced as the opener today for the Milwaukee Brewers.
He's got
in
10
game
pitches
3.
left in him. I mean, like, how many pitches can he throw?
I mean, this is another thing here. Like, that means the Miz is coming out tonight, not Quintana, right? Like,
I think so.
Why else would they? They're not going to throw Quintana after Ashby. They don't want to go lefty in that situation. So
bring on the Miz.
I'm excited for that. I would love to see what Jacob Mizorowski does in a road playoff game. And you've seen it now out of him that he does have some sort of clutch gene in him right now. And he has risen to the occasion, even when he struggled at the back end of the season, Mace.
Yeah, he's not afraid. I don't mind it. I think that's good. What do you think? He gets just gets the first inning? Like, is that kind of what it is? Or do you think they're going to try to stretch him out a little bit?
Yeah, probably. They probably have Ashby go at probably only one inning. I mean, it feels like he's just only gone one inning now.
Do you think we're going to see Chad Patrick? Is that like who's going to come in? Like Miz then?
Probably. Yeah, I think they'll probably put a stopper in there with Jared Koenig or something too. I don't know.
Stopper, a plunger.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Everything.
We got the stopper. We got the clogger. We got a plunger.
Is it the flapper? Isn't that the
we
other
got a flapper?
Yeah. We're just naming toilet parts for the Brewers pitching.
I'm
staff.
Hearing Kohler. It makes sense. I mean,
exactly.
We went and walked around the Kohler showcase before the show, and I was like, is it weird? Can I sit on these toilets? Like, just try them out. Like, what? How do we do this? But
do you have just like the craziest toilet ever at your house because of
we
Kohler?
don't.
No.
We don't. But
they've got some crazy ones now.
Yeah, we were looking. So did you know that they make like just lids, like the toilet lids that can do all of the the smart toilet stuff? Like it's like a bidet and a seat heater.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know. I do you need I wouldn't want a seat heater, I don't think, on my toilet
no
seat.
In fact, I'm trying to avoid all the heat possible on the seat. It feels like
this is not where I thought this segment was going to go. But if you're watching on YouTube, also, I've been wanting to say this the whole time, so I love like mini things. But if you're looking, like, does this cup make me look like a giant, or do you see it as a mini cup, or do you see me as a giant?
No, I see it looks like Andre the Giant holding a Coke can right now.
Like, I love I love small little coffee cups, like espressos and little mini coffee cups. It's the best thing in the world.
You like feeling like a giant rather than feeling like you're drinking out of something smaller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to feel like a giant.
Okay, well, I'll get on that and creating more miniature things to send your way.
So Brewers are winning tonight. That's why like where we're starting. Let's just start there. Brewers are winning the game tonight.
They need to. I mean,
if I say that though, what does that make you feel?
I don't know. I've lost a lot of faith over the last two games, to be honest.
We talked about your faith a little bit on Tuesday.
I need to see something early in this game that's not just Jackson Churio hitting a leadoff homer and then nothing happens after that.
We saw that. So like early is not what I'm worried about. We need to see this team close this thing out.
Yes.
So we need to see them get that starting pitcher, get Glasnow off the mound as early as possible and get into that bullpen, make them work a little bit. If they go, I'd never like talking about if they lose this game, like, moral victories or whatever. But if they aren't able to win this game tonight, but they at least put that work in and they get that bullpen to work there for the Dodgers, like, I would view that as a positive going into those next two games in LA. But I mean, if this goes just like it has the first two games, then like we can probably scratch this up as like, well, the Dodgers just did their thing and steamrolled this Brewers team.
Game 3 today. Leadoff show starts at 4:00. We will interrupt Wisconsin Sports Daily for that. Plus, then we have Wisconsin Sports Wrap Up immediately following that as well. I'm sure we'll be following the game during that show
I
most
love
of the
that. That'll be
time.
nice, like a little live like game game call.
On the other side, let's talk about what Packers you want to see more involved in the offense for Green Bay for this week. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, right here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Hour number 2, the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis. He'll join us in about 15 minutes or so here as we make our weekly picks every Thursday. And, of course, the Packers' all-time leading scorer is here. What a fun first hour. Does it still feel like this is the fastest 2 hours of all time?
Yeah, it is weird that 12 to 2, actually, it feels so much faster.
So much
than
faster.
That 9 to 11 time frame. I do feel like, we're bringing that juice too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with this change up, we're kind of the vets. We've been here for a year, just kind of crushing it, which we'll celebrate with Mitch on whenever he comes on here in the next segment.
Good call.
But we missed our 1-year anniversary celebration on Tuesday. Didn't even say anything. They didn't have a party for us.
Kind of was expecting a surprise here.
Yeah,
kind of
where were the poppers? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some champagne should have been thrown around. I don't know what's going on, but
maybe I was waiting for something too to be like, oh, I didn't even get any Odyssey points or anything from it or whatever.
But see, isn't it better? Like, there might be a surprise coming.
Okay,
it's you don't want to do it on the day. I feel like that everyone's expecting that.
That's what every wife says anyway. You don't want to do it on the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a huge party for Molly on her. Well, I guess this year's her 39th. Maybe I'll throw a huge party for her on her 39th birthday instead of on her 40th, just to throw her for a loop.
It's a way bigger deal. Yeah. And when's the wedding anniversary for you again?
Our wedding anniversary is June 28th. Yeah.
June 20th. And you're what,
Thanks for
18 years?
testing me.
Was it 18 years?
It was 17 this year.
17.
Yeah, so
okay.
We'll be 18
I
years
remember
next year.
Andy
Jeez.
was 19, Mitch was 18, you're 17 then.
Yeah.
And I think Sparky's 16, if I remember correctly. Like all of you guys were like in an order there. So that was weird to go. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Question that we put out here, Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, if you want to be a part of the show. If you could get one Packer involved on the offense more this week, just one, who are you picking and why for Green Bay against Arizona? 414-677-1250 if you want to be a part of the show as well. Mason Crosby, I have a feeling that I know your lean on this one, so I will ask you first, who needs to get more involved and separate as a number one option for this Packers team, and it can start against Arizona this weekend?
Well, I mean, again, we talked about Matthew Golden, and that's kind of like an obvious choice, but I do think I think Romeo Doubs. Like, I just want to see more from Romeo Doubs. And I don't know if it's by design or not, but they have to make a decision on Romeo, right? And like Christian Watson's on his way back. They already gave him an extension for one more year, gave him that $13.5 million for another year. But I just want to see. I want to see what Romeo Doubs can do. Is he going to be an option for this team moving forward, or are they going to lean into Matthew Golden? Matthew Golden has proven to adjust his routes, to have great hands, be the clutch guy in moments. Romeo's done some of that too early on in the season, but I just think you have to make a decision with him. And I think it's like you're either going to get him more involved or you hide him out and you just see if you can't get a discount on him, a team-friendly deal in the offseason, or it's time to move on, right? So my guy that I want to see is Romeo Doubs. I want to see him do his thing, see if they can't feed him a little more, and see if he can't have a really productive day down there in Arizona.
Easton Butler on Twitter, writer for Packer Report, always has some source within Green Bay's locker room that he won't give up, obviously, and doesn't have anything else. But he is very locked into this conversation with Green Bay. He says that there has been some calls for Romeo Doubs, notes the Steelers, the Giants, and the Jaguars all called about Romeo Dobbs. And the trade deadline is November 4th, I believe, for the NFL. I'm not sure if that's at like 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever it is.
It's usually like 3, yeah.
But that's a guy that I don't think that Green Bay should have any interest in moving on from, and especially if he continues to show that he is the guy that Jordan Love wants to target on safety net, get that first down, or, hey, we're in the red zone, I want to go to this guy. If he continues to establish that relationship, Mason, that should make it very easy for those phone calls to be like, hey, what's up, Romeo? No, bye. Like, easy enough.
Yeah. Is that so? Who's your like player that you want to see get involved? And then I'll touch on that.
I think that my player is the tight end Tucker Kraft. I think he can be a top 5 tight end in this league. I'm talking a guy
you just want him to be. You want him to feed him more. Just utilize him at a higher level.
I think he can be a vertical threat tight end. I think what they were hoping to get out of Luke Musgrave, they have in Tucker Kraft. Plus, he can block. I mean, I don't want to compare him. His accolades and his numbers aren't George Kittle, but he can beat George Kittle, like 100%. A guy who's physical in the run game and a very valuable, maybe number 1 option in the pass game, too, for this team, in my opinion.
We've said it for a while, and I've said it, since last year, since we came on. Like, he is a combination of Kittle and Kelsey.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that dog in him. He'll block. He's going to finish plays. But then he has that finesse and that stuff like a young Travis Kelsey had, where he's going to catch the ball and he's going to get in space and make defenders, make it really tough on them. So, and then to touch on the Romeo Dobbs thing. Yeah, I think that conversation, I mean, it's basically Matthew Golden and Romeo Dobbs are our receivers right now.
Yes.
Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath, they haven't really done a ton, right? Like, they're serviceable. They make catches here and there. But it's Romeo Dobbs and Matthew Golden, and when Christian Watson comes back, those will be your top 3 guys, right? So you just know what a season looks like. Someone's going to get hurt. Things are going to happen. You cannot move back away from Romeo Dobbs unless Christian Watson comes back onto the scene and just becomes like everything, a superhuman wide receiver and the number 1 guy.
But how much can you trust him based on his injury history now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you just can't trust it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need as many of those skill guys in that room as possible. And yeah, the Packer way or different things, like, you're going to try to see if there's value there that you can move on from somebody before you think it's too late. But I don't think Romeo Dobbs is one of those guys.
No, and I want to see Tucker Kraft more involved because I think he can be near the elite of the position. That's why. I don't know if I see that out of a wide receiver, even though what we've seen out of Matthew Golden, he has elite speed. I'm not ready to say just because he was a first-round wide receiver, he can be one of the best in the NFL. There's a lot of talented players at that position. What I have seen out of the NFL tight end position, I know Tucker Kraft can do that and more, maybe at the best level right now. I mean, you're talking about, Kelsey's not who he was anymore. There's been good play out of the rookie Warren
but that's how the Chiefs run their offense, right?
Yeah,
like forever. It's like who are their wide receivers? They have Smith-Schuster, and it's just kind of nobodies. But then it's like, if Travis Kelsey is playing all right, like, that's who Mahomes is going to go to. They want to run the ball. Like, they're finding ways to win, and it all revolves around a great tight end. Like, they actually have 3 good tight ends. Tanyan's on the team, which I actually didn't even realize until last week. That old Bobby Tanyan's down there. And then who's their other? Gray,
Noah Gray, right?
So like the Chiefs rely on their tight end so much, and that's because of Mahomes' style. And I think Jordan Love, when healthy, not that he's as creative and like does crazy stuff like Mahomes, but he has really, like, he's able to run. He likes to get out of the pocket. He likes to move. And a tight end, a good tight end, just gives you so much flexibility whenever a play breaks down, because they don't have to be open. If you got a safety covering them or a DB covering them, you just throw it into their body and they're going to be able to, box out and make a catch and get you, 6, 7, 8 yards. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Tucker Kraft, huge, really important part of this offense. But I do believe, I just would love to see them decide what Romeo Dobbs is going to be for this team.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon. We're live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. But I don't know, Mason, like, the conversations and the comments from Matt LaFleur say that they don't want to spread, they don't want to force feed anyone, right? They don't want to force feed, they don't want to force anything to a number one option, establish anything as a number one option. Is it easier if they go to the tight end position though, and have that as their safety net, fail safe option, and can by default be the number one? Like, should Romeo Doubs be getting the most targets on this team, or should it be a guy like Tucker Kraft? Will it be Christian Watson when he comes back? When I think of number one option, that's what I think of. Not necessarily the numbers or the stats that go with it, but the opportunities you are trying to give to that player. Are you still in agreement that it should be Romeo Doubs that should be getting the most opportunities of anyone else other than in the past game, at least for Green Bay?
No, I've said this for a long. I think this offense needs to run from like between Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. I mean, that is how this offense is going to operate at its full potential.
But what have you seen out of Josh Jacobs that makes you love that too? Is that just something that they're game planning for every week, much better than Green Bay is game planning for Josh Jacobs? Or is it, hey, like maybe we should spread the ball out, let our guy Jordan Love, who they're paying a lot of money as well, to be the guy to distribute the ball to someone on the field?
Yeah, whenever Tucker Kraft had that excellent game, was that against the Commanders?
Yeah, I think it was week 2. Yes,
like they did exactly kind of what we talked about during that short week, was like go away from just tight formations and force feeding Josh Jacobs. Like make it a little more creative. Get the ball to Tucker Kraft. Make him be a running back, 3-4 yards down the field where he gets the ball in his hands and then he just punishes defenses. And then it opens up that run game for Josh Jacobs, where now these defenses are playing this yo-yo game where they don't know where to line up. They don't know exactly what's coming at them. But I would love to see, I'd love to see if I were a head coach, this would be my philosophy. I'd be more of a, like I said, 1A, 1B, 1C, where it's like you make them stop what we want to do. Right? Like I would make a team stop me, not try to spread it around to everybody and have this just try to make it a masterclass of coaching every time. I'd just be like, if you stop this, all right, we'll go to 1B. All right, you found a way to stop that. We're going to 1C. Like I would just have that in my arsenal and not be like, all right, we're just going to try to keep them guessing the whole game, because I think sometimes as an offense, if you're trying to keep the defense guessing so much, you don't get into the exact rhythm that you're hoping to, and you don't have something to just hang your hat on at all times. So that's my only concern with not having that definitive option where it's like, this is what we are going to do. You have to come and stop this, and then we'll go to that next option.
Yeah, and looking at like what the offensive line play has been so far this year, Mason, it felt like the first 2 weeks everything was gravy. What they were able to do in pass pro was awesome. You knew the run game wasn't quite there, and it really hasn't improved at all. It's maybe gotten worse since those first 2 weeks right now with the offensive line play. There has been some injuries. It sounds like Zach Tom is also like another game time decision, maybe earing more towards doubtful in this game against Arizona. Like, to establish a rhythm on the run game with an inconsistent offensive line, I don't know how possible it is. And it hasn't been shown, at least through these first 5 games, that Green Bay is capable and trustworthy of doing that yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I think it's opening up. I think Josh Jacobs, this last game, obviously Bengals defense was really bad.
Yeah.
But he's not afraid to get those tough yards. Just keep feeding him. I think it's going to open up. This offensive line will find its rhythm, find its space. I mean, we are still only in they're playing their 6th game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of ball left. And I think you just keep wearing teams down, and come November, December football, Green Bay Packer, time of year, like that's where this run game is really going to need to be leaned on. I have no issue going into Arizona and just air raid offense this thing. I mean, you're in a controlled environment. Let Jordan Love just drop back, feel comfortable, do his thing, find his options, feed Tucker Kraft. Like, that's how I would go into this Arizona Cardinals game. Like, try to score as many points as possible. Like, we don't need time of possession. Let's not just plod along. Let's go after these teams. Because I think that's what this team is missing a little bit, is just putting that fear of God into these teams, where it's like, we're gonna come at you all day, every day, both sides of the football, and you'd have to deal with us.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, they might be saying that in the building, but we haven't seen it yet where they've just put a complete game together and controlled everything top to bottom. I mean, those Lions Commanders games, those were good, but there were moments in that where you're just like, do they have that killer instinct? Do they have that ability to just say, we're the top dog, we're going to get this thing done? And then I do want to go to the defensive side of the ball real quick.
Okay.
Because is Devontae Wyatt, like, is he coming back? Do we know that yet?
It sounds like he's more optimistic than Zach Tom,
Okay.
but I wouldn't bank on it.
And then what about Van Ness?
That was another one where, again, all we heard was they avoided serious injury.
Okay.
But, is that a 1 week injury? Is it a 2 week injury? What is serious? Is Jaden Reed's injury serious, or because he can come back by Thanksgiving, everything's fine? Like, I don't even know. What does serious mean in the NFL?
Yeah, is it 2-3 weeks?
Yeah,
instead of like the rest of the season.
They were working out. They worked out, I believe, 4 guys from yesterday. I didn't hear any additional signings coming from it, but all 4 of them were edge rushers. And I just basically said, they're probably going to get this guy, Jeremiah Moon, because his RAS score was the highest. Like, that's what I looked at it. Like,
that's all they do.
There was a guy with like a 5 RAS score. I'm like, there's no shot he's going to be a member of the Packers. Yeah. They're not going to let him on the team. So I think that we haven't heard any signings, so maybe that should be optimistic towards Van Ness being ready to go. But I don't know much more about Devontae Wyatt either.
I think in a game like this against the Cardinals, I'd rather, if Van Ness can go, I'd rather Van Ness go than Devontae Wyatt. Like, the Cardinals can't run the football.
Yeah. So
it's like they're gonna, but if you don't have Van Ness, like, he's great in the run game, but he also has been a real positive in that pass rush as well. Because I think with him on the field, it allows Micah Parsons to do all of his stuff, right? Like, it allows him to move in the middle, do different things. If Van Ness isn't on the field, I feel like you got to put Micah Parsons more on the edge more often than more often than they probably want to. Right?
They also experimented a lot last week in him blitzing from the middle on pass rushing downs. That was something that they got him involved in. I didn't see much of it, but I'll be honest, Mason, through 5 games of a Packer season, I'm so tired of the stat pressures. I don't care about the stat pressures anymore. Yeah. It's just because
I've never heard this much talk about pressure rate.
Yes.
It's like, I want to see sacks. I want to see turnovers.
Yes.
Like I remember standing on the sideline, and it's like, oh, it's cool whenever you run by the quarterback and he throws the ball and they count it as a pressure. But like, what do we want to see?
Yeah.
We want to see sack fumbles. And we want to see you force a turnover.
Well, and the one pressure that I can and one of the turnovers that was a pressure from Parsons was the Evan Williams. The Evan Williams interception. Like, that's a valuable pressure to me. Yes, I understand those stats being counted as pressures, but until I see moments like that more with them, I don't care about the stat pressures at all.
So where are we at with Micah Parsons? How many sacks? Is he at 2.5?
2.5, I believe, still, yeah.
So, I mean, like, I know, like, the honeymoon phase may be worn off. Like, do we need to see more from Micah Parsons? Like, do we need to see him actually get hits on the quarterback and get some sacks?
Who did we talk? What was his name? Bobby in Texas, right?
Yeah.
When Bobby was on with us. No, the beat writer for
Bobby.
Yes, Bobby. Bobby was when he was on with us. But he had asked at the end, he was like, have you guys gotten to the point where you're yelling holding every time you see him play?
I have seen some of those clips.
He has, I don't think he has a holding call all year.
Which is kind of wild.
Like, he's been tackled. He's been tackled. So, and LaFleur
and
brought
guys are up around his neck a lot.
Yes.
Which I'm like, how are they allowing this to happen?
Yeah.
Like, is that like because he's not the biggest guy? Like, they're just allowing them to just hook him around his around to the top of his shoulder pads, and they're not calling that. Like, these tackles are out leveraged.
Yeah.
And that is the definition of holding. If they've had their feet beaten and they have their arms outside of their framework, it doesn't matter if it's like they're not pulling jersey or any of that. That is holding. So I'm not sure what these refs are looking at, or if it's just like, did Jerry Jones say, hey, I'm going to trade Mike apart? Like, you can't call holding on
ever again. Never.
Yeah.
He never gets one. Coming up, we got to make our weekly picks that we do every Thursday. Mitch Thundernell is going to join us here on the YouTube stream. If you want to jump in, join along with us. Some interesting spreads this week.
I don't like them.
Yeah,
These are tough to call.
They are. It's tough when you've gone 2-8 over your last 2 weeks. Like this is a brutal slate.
This is my week.
Brutal slate of spreads. We'll do that after this. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's time for the boys' weekly picks. Hear who they think will win the big games this weekend. Just don't trust them. It's weekly picks with Mason Crosby, Mitch Nellis, and Tommy Wirtz.
Right next to the extra point button. Right next to it as well. But I think we played it off smooth. I think we played it off all right. It's time for weekly picks here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And we can't do the weekly picks without our guy, Mitch Thunder Nellis, as well, joining us here. Mitch, how we doing, bud?
Okay, you guys okay? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Great,
yeah,
bud.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you through my computer, not my headphones, so those are really worthless. Thanks.
Okay, nice.
Great,
Yeah, it's
great.
not coming back through any feedback or anything, so it's all good.
Okay,
Everything's doing all right. You sound beautiful. Mitch, we were talking about these picks this week. A lot of interesting lines over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, I think.
Yeah, you guys think so? I'm undefeated. I'm going 6-0 this week. I think they're easy.
6-0.
I love the lines this week.
Love the lines. Update on the standings. Tommy and Mitch at the top, 15 and 16. Mason Crosby all the way at the bottom of 14
Relax.
and
Relax.
17.
I just miss you so much.
Yeah.
I miss you so much, Mason.
I know, Mitch.
This
Where
job
are
is
you right
stupid.
now? Are you at
This
your
job
house?
Yeah, I'm in my basement.
Nice.
Let's go, baby.
It's a good studio. You got a nice little setup over
I do
there.
have a nice studio. I got a big microphone. I'm ready to roll from home, baby.
Perfect. Mitch Nellis
Mitch
joining
on the
us
big mic.
On his own show here. He'll be back, though, tomorrow. Brookfield location on Blue Mound for the Verizon store. Mitch Nellis, Mason Crosby. You'll get to see Clay Matthews as well while you're there, so make sure you go check it out over on Blue Mound in Brookfield, the Verizon store. Go see the Mason Crosby Show live. Let's get into the first game of what?
Why go to Brentwood when you can go to Brookfield?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Pretty much the same spot.
It's the Brentwood of Wisconsin. Yeah, it's the Brentwood of Milwaukee, if you will.
Nice.
Saints are at the Bears. The Bears are favored by 4.5 in this game. I'll kick it off. I love Chicago in this game. I think that the Bears have proven that they're probably a little bit better than people were giving them credit for so far. And I don't trust the Saints. Like, Spencer Rattler stinks. He's probably the worst quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I know they won a game, but I still don't have any faith in them. Mitch Nellis, where are you going with this one? 4.5 for the Bears.
Yeah, hide the women and children. The Bears are on the prowl. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bears are going to romp. They're going to roll. The Saints stink. They're not at home. I think they're like moderately mid at home and a debacle on the road. So the Bears roll.
Over of 1.5 rolled ankles, because it's at Soldier Field, Mason Crosby.
The field's probably still okay right now.
Okay.
It's still early enough. Once they tear that thing up and put the hay on top of it, that's when it gets really bad. So
Mason, did you see the reports out of Pittsburgh? They're like already crushing the field in Pittsburgh. Did you see that?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, that field, Boswell's foot like went underground. I mean, that field is awful.
Not okay.
It's mid-October. They just play a lot of games. I think Pitt plays on that field.
Yeah.
Like, they do so much on those fields.
They do a lot of high school games there too, I think.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. It looks so torn up the other day. But I'm rolling with y'all. I can't I can't lose ground anymore. So I'm taking the Bears. I think I do unfortunately think they're better than we wanted to admit early on, and the Saints team is just so bad.
So bad. I mean, and are they finally not in cap hell? Like, they were just they're always going to be bad, it feels like, until they get something back here. Let's keep it in the division here. Eagles at the Vikings, and the Eagles only getting 2 points on this one. Mason Crosby, why don't you kick us off with this one? Where are you going in this one?
Eagles are giving to, by the way. They're not getting.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah. Gambling.
Giving to. Oh gosh. Let me see what I wrote down, because I've been second guessing myself this whole time. At Minnesota, I believe I have the Eagles written down. I'm picking the Eagles in this game. I'm just gonna roll with what I chose.
Yeah. No, I agree with Mason. I think the Eagles, they may not be perfect, but I think they figure it out a little bit, and Minnesota's just like Minnesota's whatever. They're okay. They're not great. I know they're coming off a bye, but I think Philly's better.
Do you think that the quarterback play question doesn't really matter after seeing what Jackson Dart could do against this Philadelphia Eagles team, though? Like, is JJ McCarthy going to play this game? Is it going to be Carson Wentz again? Like, does it matter at all?
I don't think so. I think they're going to run that offense fairly similar. But I think Carson Wentz has done a fine job. So yeah, but for me, I just feel like the Eagles need a bounce back win. It's a lot tighter. I think if this game is in Philly, it's no question, but it will be a little tighter because it's in Minnesota.
Buccaneers are at Detroit.
Who did you pick, Tommy?
Oh, I picked the Eagles. Sorry, I was agreeing with you. I was agreeing. My bad.
Okay.
My bad. I was all in on Eagles. But this one, maybe some discourse coming up. Buccaneers are at Detroit facing the Lions. Mitch Nellis, you got to start us off with one. Who do you like in this one?
I feel like I should go last in this one because I know you guys are both rolling with Baker, and I am going Detroit Lions. I don't with the injuries at wide receiver for Tampa, I don't think their offense can score enough points to keep up with Detroit at home. So you guys keep rolling with your boy, and I'm going with the Lions.
You're wrong on that one, Mitch. I'm going Detroit. I'm picking Detroit. I had it written down because I agree with you. I think with the Bucs injuries, they've played close games. This number, like it could be close. But Detroit at home is a different animal. I just think they are electric at home. So I'm rolling with Detroit. Is it 5.5?
5.5. Yes. I am disappointed. I'm disappointed in Mitch Nellis because he thought that he was going to be solo on this game. I'm disappointed in Mason Crosby for turning his back on one of his boys. And I am not riding with the Buccaneers. I'm riding with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
okay?
you are.
I'm riding with the MVP favorite now. Tampa Bay's Baker Mayfield. Zoom for dramatic effects there. I am going with the Buccaneers. 5.5's a lot, man. And the Lions just got whomped by the Chiefs, just got destroyed. I have no problem saying that this game will be within 5 points of Tampa Bay and Detroit. So
Tampa's probably going to kick a game-winning field goal.
I'm writing Baker. I'm not even writing Buccaneers. I'm writing Baker on my line right there. Badgers, I just wanted to put this on here as like almost a for fun pick. Is Luke Fickell fired after they don't cover 25.5 this week? Because they're not covering 20.
Wait, come on. If he wasn't fired after 37-0, he's not getting fired.
Not firing him this season.
No. But the alternative is like throw the interim head coach against the number one team in the country. Like, no, that's not what they were going to do. It's after this game. It is when they lose 56-0 in Camp Randall and they don't show jump around on TV for the second straight week that Luke Fickell is gone. All right. And right now, the Badgers, again, I have no idea. The line opened at 27.5. It's down to 25.5 somehow. Who is betting the Badgers in this game, Mitch Nellis? Who is betting the Badgers?
Not I. Not I.
This is not happening.
I'm going to bold that one already. I think we're already correct on that one.
42-7.
We're all starting.
Yeah. Best, like we were talking earlier, Ohio State has the best defense in the country.
Yes.
Like what was that number? The Badgers, they're
the 17th team in the conference. Northwestern, Mitch Nellis, is averaging 17 points a game in conference play. The Badgers, who are 18th, aka last, are averaging 6 right now.
6 points a game.
Yeah, I'm not in on Wisconsin. There's a chance I go to the game and watch this whole place burn to the ground because I want to see how terrible it is. Can
they fire him at like during jump around?
Yeah, I mean, just ask Vontae Davis how to retire in the middle of a game or whatever it is. Exactly. Yeah, super easy. Solo game.
Hey, can I make a quick left turn? Mason, what are you doing next Wednesday night? You want to come back to Milwaukee and go to the Bucs season opener?
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Just saying, just throwing it out there.
Good. I can't next Wednesday, but
Wizards.
Do you already have tickets?
Yeah, but I don't have Mason Crosby tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Solo game. Anyone want to go first? Anyone have a game that they are? Yeah, Mitch Nellis, go ahead.
My wife is already mad at me because I was supposed to text you, Tommy. You were supposed to play Rocky Top.
Okay, yeah.
Rocky Top will always be home sweet home to me.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, good. Rocky Top. I think I have him +8.
+8, Tennessee.
Yeah, at Alabama. Alabama wins games, but they don't win big. Like they don't, I think even if Alabama wins, it's within a touchdown. I think it's back and forth, high scoring. I'll take the Vols +8.
Okay, yeah. I mean, in the most overrated conference in the country right now, the SEC. I like it. I like it. Yeah. I have right here as well. Yes, +8, 11 Tennessee at number 6 Alabama. I will give you that +8. Mitch Nellis on your solo game. Mason Crosby, do you have one that you like?
I'm going over the pond.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to go back to my roots. We're going to pick a soccer match.
Yeah, Liverpool playing Girl Scout Troop 419 this week or what? What's going on?
This is an important game for my team Walsall. So I'm going to go into my roots. I'm going to go into a team that I feel really, really confident and comfortable with. Top of the table, Walsall. Playing at home against Barrow. They're minus 0.5. So if they have to win. They got to win.
They got to win. Okay.
They got to win. So I'm picking them to win.
Okay, I like that.
No, I like that. That's good.
I'll take spreads. When you bet spreads, I have no problem when you bet spreads. When you bet minus 4,000s on the
I know. That's the only one I've won. Like that's the only solo I've picked correct.
Yannick Sinner. Sinner's not walking through that door, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Yannick.
Let me see here. I don't love any other of these games. I think I'm gonna go with a really gross game that no one's gonna watch this weekend. You might get this highlight on Red Zone once or twice if you're watching on Sunday. I'm gonna take Carolina to cover the one.
I knew that's where you're going
over the New York Jets.
Really?
I think that what Carolina's got going with Rico Dowdle right now is like fantasy football league winner stuff happening. And we'll have Mikey Henniger on tomorrow at Basement Brewed Fantasy Football to clarify that. But yeah, I mean, I think the Panthers come out on top, and the Jets, man, like their highlight this season is Aaron Glenn dancing down the sideline right now. They don't have anything else to look at. And I think I have to finally close the casket on Justin Fields. I think I'm like, I've always held out for him, and that he maybe had a chance in Chicago. He was exciting to watch, like dynamic, obviously, but he just doesn't win football games. And I don't think he wins against Carolina. And I think everyone in New York Jets land is sad this weekend. That's basically where I'm going.
Well, they're already sad.
Yeah,
so, I mean, they're just going to continue their depression.
But losing to Carolina is also like next level. Yikes! I feel like you can't have that. So I'm betting
here.
A favorite.
Let me, like Aaron Glenn. Like I pictured him as like watching him on the sidelines now. Like he almost seems like big. Like he's like projecting himself as like bigger and better than everyone else. Like I saw like some interactions with, and then he's wearing the McDaniel like pulled up like track pants. Like I'm like, what are you doing? Like. You're supposed to be a ball coach. Like don't go with this image out there. Like be who you are. You came from the Detroit Lions. Like, come on now.
Is that like stupid brain of me thinking like, look, you can't be 0-7 and wear those pants? Like,
no, I agree. I'm like, just like go back. Like, if anything, just wear normal pants.
Yeah.
Like you're not better than anyone. You're 0-6.
Right.
Like, come on now.
It's like the guy with all the accessories on the bench at the end of the bench of the Bucks, right?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just like, do you need a headband, bro? Do you really need a headband? You're not even sweating during this game.
The guy,
so.
like inactive, or practice squad guy for the Packers wearing the huge diamond.
Yes. Mitch Nellis, Chris Livingston waved. Any thoughts on that? By the way,
no, I mean, never got a fair shake. And every time he played, I know it was in garbage time, but he'd always looked like he had potential. But I hope he catches on with somebody and gets some run. I don't know. Just a numbers game at some point. When the superstar's brother wants to play basketball, somebody loses a job,
and then his other brother wants to play basketball.
Right, yeah.
And then Alex Antetokounmpo now there as well. Cardinals Packers this week. Packers 6.5 point favorites. We got to pick the score of this one as well. I will start it off. I don't know if I have yet. Packers 6.5. I don't care. This is the game they looked the best last season. And if it's Jacoby Brissett, I feel like the line's going to move by Sunday. If that is confirmed, even with Kyler Murray, the foot injury, it's probably going to hurt his mobility in the game. I am all in on Green Bay winning this game by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I'm taking the Packers with that 6.5. if they don't win by a touchdown, like I'll take the L, and it'll just be disappointing all around. Like they need to win this game by more than a touchdown. And my number for the game, I'm predicting 31-17.
31-17. I didn't get my number. I'll go 31-10. I think they're really on. I don't think there's a lot of scoring in this game from Arizona. If they're missing Marvin Harrison, who's already kind of overrated. The linebacker matchup with Trey McBride, I feel like, is very fine and favorable towards Green Bay. Mitch Nellis, your last pick here.
Yes, sir. So I am. I want to pick against you guys just because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, how we're all going to lose. I have Packers 27-16 because what do they score every game? They score 27, right?
Yeah.
So I've got 27-16, and I just have a feeling with like 35 seconds left, Arizona's going to score some BS touchdown to make it 27-23 or 27-22 because they'll go for 2 and not make it, and they'll end up losing by 5, and they'll end up covering. But assuming the Packers can keep them out of the end zone on that final drive, I think the Packers win and cover. I'm going 27-16.
27-16.
They scored 27 3 times.
Yeah.
Like they have 3 wins and they've scored 27 in all those games. So
didn't you see that the Bears won 25-24 back-to-back weeks? And it's the first time that a team has won by like 1 point in back-to-back weeks with the same score since like the 1927 Yellow Jackets or something. I don't even know.
You throw out the records when you talk Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, the final score was 7-6 back then, by the way, in case you guys were wondering.
1-0.
Right. Those are our picks. Recapping them here. A lot of agreement with the boys on some scary lines. We all have the Bears and the Eagles to cover. Mason turns on Baker Mayfield and rides with Mitch Nellis on Lions versus Buccaneers. Mason's going with Walsall while Mitch Nellis is riding with Rocky Top. And I have Bryce Young, I guess. Oh, God, that sounds really bad when I say it like that. This is the week Luke Fickell gets fired because he doesn't cover 25.5, according to all of us. And the Packers have 6.5. They are going to cover against the Arizona Cardinals this week. Mitch Nellis, I think we will be reunited again tomorrow.
Well, Mason and I will be.
And on a permanent basis, I'm hoping after that as well. Excited for the Verizon store tomorrow, Mitch?
I'm always excited for the Verizon store. I know it's not my Verizon store. I do love Bayshore. But Brookfield's really nice. I'm excited to head out there. I actually have some questions that I know they'll take really good care of me. And I get to see Mason Crosby IRL, which is like literally the luxury of my luxuriousness.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is nice.
That's what makes my luxury luxurious.
Love it.
And old Molly Crosby will be there.
Really?
Crosby.
Maybe I'll bring Mrs. Thunder.
Yeah,
they'll hang out.
That'll be a good time. Mitch, thank you so much for popping on. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, my friend.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Go Brewers.
Yeah, go Brewers. They need it.
Now, what do you pick? Should we pick that game tonight? Nobody went there. No one went there.
Like, I don't care what I think. I'm taking the Brewers.
Yeah. All right.
They're getting it done.
Yeah. But throw everything out the window when the power of friendship is in the conversation, right? All right, Mitch Nellis. Thank you so much. Talk to you later, boss.
Take care, fellas.
There he is, Mitch Thunder Nellis on the Mason Crosby Show, as you will hear him again tomorrow at the Verizon store in Brookfield if you want to go see the Mason Crosby Show IRL. But we got to get to your extra points on the other side. You ready to go, Mace?
Yes, sir. Ready to roll.
Let's do it. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, and the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It's always dangerous whenever I get thinking, so I try not to do it too much.
Yeah, good.
But I am thinking about this Brewers game tonight. It's top of my mind, and I'm thinking the bats are going to get hot out there in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you see?
I'm willing it to happen.
You don't see it? Do you see anyone specific?
I think Terang is going to get back into
nice.
his hitting form, like our guy Terang. Your best buddy. I hope Bowers gets in that lineup and get some hits. I think I want Yelich.
Yeah.
I want Yelich to hit, but I think Churio's going to keep doing his things. But I want to see Bryce Terang. I honestly think that's probably the biggest thing going on right now. It's like Bryce Terang is that anchor on their bat, like on getting hits and just getting runners on base. Like you just have to have Bryce Terang getting hits and getting that thing started. So I am thinking about Bryce Terang getting hits all day long. Do it with me. We have to will this thing to happen.
Yeah.
Like if you don't believe in that sort of thing where you can will things to happen, I've done it my whole life. You just got to have the power, the brain, power magic, power friendship, get this thing going. Brewers are going to get this win tonight. I have total faith. And then come out tomorrow and we'll celebrate at the Verizon store there off of Blue Mountain Road in Brookfield. We're going to have a great time and get to catch up with my old buddy Clay Matthews. I see him a little bit down there in Nashville, so it'll be fun to pick his brain. And if you have any questions, I do want to throw that out there. If you have any questions that you want me to ask old Clay Matthews, go to the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, send us a message in 414-677-1250. Let me know if there's anything in particular. Tommy has a lot of questions.
So many.
I might just sit back and let Tommy interview Clay and just pick his brain on all things Packers and his time there in Green Bay.
Yeah, the first question: what gives you the right?
What gives you the right?
I think that that'll be an awesome event. That'll be super cool to have him popping on. Is he going to pop on like the last half hour or something? Isn't that what it is? The plan is like. He's going to join us.
He's going to be there. I know he's going to be doing some interviews, doing some things there at the store. But yeah, I think he's going to sit down and we'll have a good conversation, talk about what's going on in this football season and just what he's up to now. So it'll be great to catch up with him. And then you don't want to miss. He's going to be hanging around for another hour and 15 minutes after the show ends to sign some autographs and do some different things.
Yeah, should be awesome. Make sure you guys head over to the Verizon store in Brookfield, October 17th, Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis. We'll be broadcasting live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network from noon to 2 at the Verizon store on West Blue Mountain Road in Brookfield. Plus, Packers legend Clay Matthews will stop by before his meet and greet begins at 2 o'clock. Come see the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis and say hi to Clay Matthews as well. That's just the second thought, saying hi to Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
So
hang out with us, and then Clay is just kind of like the sideshow.
Sideshow. That's a great way to put it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Mason Crosby Show today. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily coming up next with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Charlie Usen producing that show, and I'll be back on here from 4 to 6. I got the leadoff show from 4 o'clock till 5, and then Wisconsin Sports Wrap Up immediately following that. Mason, have a good rest of your day, my friend. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Heck yeah, keep crushing it, buddy.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.